The crusade continued. Dr. Ambedkar had lit the torch of consciousness. The untouchables all over Maharashtra and the country had begun to galvanize. In 1926, he was nominated by the governor to the Bombay Legislative Council. As a conscientious legislator, Ambedkar applied his erudition and legal knowledge to champion the causes of the lowly and the poor. The Mahar Vatan Bill, seeking to free the untouchables from village bondage, women's emancipation, education of the poor, prohibition. No subject which touched the lives of the downtrodden and the weaker sections escaped Dr. Ambedkar's scrutiny. He became the acting professor of Government Law College. His fame began to spread far and wide. Young intellectuals from the depressed classes began gathering around him. Dr. Ambedkar was called upon to give evidence before the Simon Commission. His deposition evoked a furor and consternation in religious and political circles. We claim that we must be treated as a distinct, independent minority. We claim reserved seats if accompanied by adult franchise. And if there is no adult franchise, we ask for separate electorates. The movement to force entry into temples was an expression of this reformist inclination. The 5-year-long satyagraha at the famous Kalaram temple of Nashik, which began in 1930, was a test case. The temple of Lord Rama at Nashik is an ancient place of pilgrimage, where holy Kumbh Melas are held every 12 years. But for the untouchables, it was impossible to set their eyes on the idol of Lord Rama. The depressed classes of Nashik formed a satyagraha committee under the leadership of Bhaurao Gaikwad to participate in the struggle under the guidance of Dr. Ambedkar.
म्हणजे जवळजवळ 15,000 लोक या सत्याग्रहाला सामील झाले. लोक म्हणजे मुलं, स्त्रिया, पुरुष, म्हातारे, वारकरी, त्याच्यानंतर बैरागी मोठा जयघोष करीत चाललेले होते आणि लोकांच्या अंगामध्ये इतका संचारलं होतं सत्याग्रहाचं वारं की ते अतिशय आनंदाने आम्हाला आताही कुठे पकडण्याचा हरकत नाही, पण बाबासाहेबांनी सुरू केलेला सत्याग्रह अत्यंत महत्वाचा आहे आणि आम्हाला आमचे हक्क बाबासाहेब म्हणतात त्याप्रमाणे मिळालेच पाहिजे असं सगळ्यांचं म्हणणं. आणि गाडी पडत चालली, जयघोष करत चालले. लष्करी बाण पहिल्यांदा होता लष्करी पद्धतीचा, त्याच्यानंतर मग बालवीराचं पथक होतं.
One of the satyagrahis in the forefront, Shantabai Dani, says, men, women and children, Bairagis and sannyasis, inspired by Dr. Ambedkar, marched on, singing songs and joyful religious dhuns. They were ready to sacrifice their lives to earn their rights. Then suddenly, stones began showering on the satyagrahis.
गंगेकडे निघाली, राम मंदिराकडे निघाली, मध्ये जरा दगडफेक झाली.
Tension mounted in the city. The untouchables decided to lay siege to the temple. The priests closed the gates, and Lord Rama became inaccessible not only to the Shudras, but also to the high castes. The siege continued. As the birth anniversary of Lord Rama drew near, a compromise was reached. The ritual Ram Rath on that day would be pulled both by the Savarnas and the untouchables.
त्याच्यानंतर 3 तारखेला रथ ओढायला सुरुवात झाली. रथ ओढायला सुरू झाले तर अर्धे लोक तिकडे अर्धे आमचे एका जोडीला लागले, परंतु त्या लोकांच्या मनातूनच नव्हतं की आम्ही लोकांनी रथ ओढावं.
The Satyagrahis recalled the drama even today. It appeared that the Savarnas had no intention of allowing us to touch the divine chariot. They started throwing stones. I was hit by a stone and started bleeding profusely, but I would not leave the procession. The prolonged satyagraha evoked retribution against the untouchables all over. But the Satyagrahis were undeterred. The temple remained closed for a whole year, and the agitation continued till the end of 1935. Ambedkar found all doors of the Hindu religion closed to the untouchables. He soon lost interest in the temple entry movement. He told his people, "The object of the temple entry movement is good, but you should care more for material good than for spiritual food." One steadfast supporter of Dr. Ambedkar's reform movement was the veteran freedom fighter Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, interned in Ratnagiri. Savarkar was against caste divisions and worked for uplifting the depressed castes and removing untouchability. He wanted to invite Dr. Ambedkar to inaugurate an all-caste temple he built in Ratnagiri. Due to his previous engagements, Dr. Ambedkar could not make it.